What is Start?
Start is a tech company, and we're aiming to make feedback better. And that's needed because respondents are neglected, basically, well, maybe the last decade. So oftentimes people find invites to give feedback on services, on products, but they pretty much ignore it because it's such a bad experience. So we have the mission to make that better for everyone, so also for our clients, the people who use the software, to make it really easy to work with and like a human touch.
You also have solutions for HR and recruitment.
Yeah, so we started out basically for B2C, B2B, well, most of it client feedback, and then clients basically asked us, could we use this also for internal purposes, like employee engagement measurement? Well, not that big of a leap from a technology point of view, but from a content point of view, it's quite different. So we specialize more and more in that. And then recruitment came about. And I think that recruitment is a real interesting niche, so to speak. It's a market that is really on fire. There's a shortage of talent, there's war on talent, so you need to differentiate in your candidate experience. I mean, that's the way you want to sustain your growth or become a bigger company. Despite the heavy competition, it can automate everything. It will be integrated in your application tracking system, so it's not any more tasks to the recruiter on top of what they already have to do. So this is really an interesting market that we, well, basically are in quite recently, over a year.
What points within the candidate experience can it be used?
Well, basically all touch points. So the thing is that you shouldn't do all. I mean, would you ask someone on every touch point, what was your experience? So we actually say you want to measure, but you want to do it from a standpoint of the candidate or even the hiring manager. So I think you need to find that moment of truth. And the moment of truth, I think, for most recruiting exercises is actually the placement. So that's where we start. So the automation, the integration with the ATS is standard for the placement. So whenever someone is placed, let's say a day after someone starting dates, they get a request for feedback, both candidates as well as the hiring manager, who's actually a client, and maybe also the rejected candidates at that stage. But intake meetings or intake interviews could also be very interesting. So multiple touch points could be used, but we will advise our clients to choose and to make a sort of cadence that will be a good experience for the candidate.
Yeah. What are the results recruiters measure when they start using it?
Yeah, that's a good question. So from a content point of view, you're really flexible to ask whatever you want to ask. So every recruiting agency has different values. They stand for something else. They want to differentiate, so you can really measure on those aspects. But I think you have sort of the standard thing, like how easy was it for you to apply, how clear was the process, how well was the communication, how well was the recruiter doing his or her job, but also the interview, so the hiring manager interview and other managers interviews. Those are really crucial things we find in the responses. And ultimately, you want to know your net promoter score or like a 1 to 10 grade on how well did we do. But I think the net promoter score is relevant. So how likely is it that you would recommend us as a recruiter to someone else in the market? So that's something that most agencies or corporate recruiters would like to know. And it's obviously a KPI that you can benchmark.
What was the roadmap for the end of this year or the next year?
Roadmap, so going forward for us is really integrations. So we believe that it will not be a standalone solution, and maybe it should not be a standalone solution. So again, you don't want to enforce more work to recruiters. They are so busy and they have another job that they can add value to, rather than doing administrative stuff after let's say after the placement or after an interview. So it needs to be automated, hence you have to integrate with ATS software. And well, there's a huge spectrum of ATS software. So we have an integration now with CareerX and on an international scale with Bullhorn, and we're looking to expand those and on a scalable way and make it such that it's very easy to implement, that it's very easy to set, where on which touch point do I want to measure, which questions do I want to ask, and what are basically the triggers that I send to start sending out a survey, and furthermore also which tags, which data points do I want to analyze later on. So which recruiter, which job role, whatever country would be relevant. So all the relevant data points that you want to make segmentations on, and then it might be valuable to feed it back into your maybe analytics type of software that you're using as a company. So that's sort of optional. Think of Tableau, think of Power BI, that kind of tooling. So integrations in one word.